Hello, welcome to the G.I. Joe New News Classified Reviews. My name is David T. Allen, or if you would like, Super Dave 817. If you would like to see more of this content, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification button for future videos. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the G.I. Joe New News Classified Review. I am David Allen, and we are here to talk about the San Diego Comic-Con Zartan. Good morning, Crusty Old Crow. Thank you for joining me again this morning. So, yeah, this is an interesting one. So the San Diego Comic-Con, this was going to be the very first San Diego Comic-Con version of Classified that we're going to get. The Zartan, his second version. It's a little bit different figure this time. And it's got a little bit of a gimmick. But we're going to compare it to the previous figure, Zartan, and the original figure, and we got a couple extra things to add to that. So this is going to be a very interesting review, different than previous reviews that we've done. Thank you. Good morning, Michael Gene Fleming, for joining us today. Oh, you got a live one. Yeah, I try to do them in the morning, but once in a while, due to my work schedule, I have to do them in the early evening. So it throws the timing off a little bit. But I try to do them in the morning. So hopefully in the future there'll be more in the mornings than they will be in the evenings. But thank you, both of you, for joining me today. So yeah, this is a unique figure in and of itself because it has this gimmick, right? Has this face turning gimmick. So this is kind of the first figure that we got that had a gimmick, right? But we got a couple other things we got to cover before we get to that. First off, let's go back over some of the information for Zartan that we went over the previous time for Zartan. So let's see. We're going to first go to Dan's book again. Zartan Turnarounds and Information. This is volume 6 of Dan Klingsmith's series. 3 3/4. The History of G.I. Joe by Dan Klingsmith. So Zartan is a unique character in and of itself because of he had the ability to change color in the sunlight, right? So the first Zartan Classified did not have that. So it says alternate name NA, year release 1984, designed by Ron Rudat. Let's read a little bit about what they said. Needing someone that could spy on the Joes and have the ability to transform his appearance with ease, Ron came up with the idea of Zartan. When designing, Ron shared that he wanted to give Zartan a muscular build to be someone who was emotionless. Two unique things about Zartan were his ability to change color when exposed to the sun and his mask accessory to help disguise him. Kurt Bazigian recalled a plastics vendor showing Hasbro color-changing plastic and Ron running with the idea once the decision was made to move forward with it. So they have a little bit of a color change right there. You can see where it can change color. So both Zartan and his family members, Xandar and Zarena, all could do this. So I believe in the comics, the Devil Do Zartan miniseries, it was a genetic defect where he had some sort of a disease or something, and he ended up getting some sort of a serum or something, and it affected him, and it made him gave him the ability to do that in the Devil's Due Origins miniseries of Zartan. So then we get a little bit behind the scenes of his different accessories, his mask, his O-ring build, and two different versions of his file card there. So that's what I'm going to go into next. Is his He's got a lot of accessories. He's got armor. He had that vehicle. We're not going to showcase the vehicle again this time, but I do want to go over some of his file cards. So his file cards, because of the fact that he had a vehicle, he was changed. His original file card that was never released was never used. And so Dan got permission from Hasbro to make a file card for Zartan. So this is the only cross-sell file card that was ever released for Zartan. So the packaging art for Zartan is of him with his swamp ski vehicle. So this is the file card that was included in this. And I said before, there was two different versions of the file card. And so let's read a little bit about this Zartan on here. It says, file name unknown, alias too numerous to list, birthplace unknown. Zartan can alter his skin color at will to blend in with his environment. He is also a master of makeup and disguise, a ventriloquist, a linguist over 20 languages and dialects, an acrobatic contortionist, and a practitioner of several mystic martial arts. Very little is known of his background and origin, but most security agencies agree that he must have had European military academy training, probably Saint Cyr. I'm not sure where Saint Cyr is. And then it says psychological profile, extreme paranoia, schizophrenia, grows into various multiple personalities to such an extent that the original personality becomes buried and forgotten. So that kind of goes into the origin that Josh Blaylock gave Zartan, because he had multiple different personas that ended up becoming what is known as Zartan that we have all come to know after all these years. Oh, thank you, Michael Jean Fleming. Sencure is a French military academy. Okay, thank you. So it says Zartan, the enemy, on his card. It says Master of Disguise, and it says when the sunlight and temperature change, Zartan changes color. And it has that little, this little color changing blurb there down in the corner. So I think this is a really cool item to get with our Creating G.I. Joe books. I'm very happy that Dan was able to get that so we could see his original card, since it's never been released in the 40 years that Zartan's been around. So then we'll show the original art of the ski skiff again with Zartan. There you go. I don't think it has his file card on here. No, it doesn't have his file card. So this is how he was originally portrayed in his original package. So I'm going to go over his original figure just briefly, just to cover this again. I do not have the backpack with the mask, but I do have Zartan with some of the armor on it. Again, I get the figures the best I can, and I'm not a mint complete collector. I have the things missing from a lot of my collection. So there's your original Zartan, and we cannot show the color changing because we're in my my theater, and so we won't be able to showcase that. But that's the original vintage Zartan. So then we're going to do a comparison to the original classified Zartan. A little bit early today, Lone Dragon, yes, because I got a busy day the rest of the day, so I wanted to get this out of the way. Thank you for joining me again. So here's your original Zartan, version 1 classified. So we're going to compare him to the new version. And so now that brings us to the San Diego Comic-Con Zartan exclusive. And now he's 31. And again, he has all these insignias. I will be hopefully one of these days have that all worked out. Michael Gene Fleming's helping me with that, so I can tell you what all this is. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Master of Disguise, color changing, linguistics, and stealth and martial arts and so on. It's probably a lot of what he's got on here. So then we have the Dreadnoks insignia. And then we have some artwork that kind of goes around the side to the front. And it changes the face on the artwork as you go along. So you can change it to a Zartan with that shadowy mask. You can change it to just a normal guy. Looks like a normal guy with white eyelashes. You can change it to more of a ninja mask that looks like Zartan in the Arashikage, maybe Storm Shadow. And then we have a normal guy with a scar on his face or over his eye. And then we have a shadowy Snake Eyes mask. You can't really see that, but it has the Snake Eyes visor on there. It's all black. And then we have the traditional Zartan that we love and know. And then we're back to the shadowy skull mask. So we're going to open this up. Let me go over this art a little bit. There's two different things on here. There's the traditional Zartan over here. Then there's like a shadowy wraith Zartan. And then there's him with the crossbow there, since he's involved in the origin and history of Zartan, Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes with the Arashikage. So there's a lot of different pieces of his history on the packaging. So then we open this up. And then we have this large Dreadnought symbol, and it says Dreadnoughts on there. It's got that cool skull, and then it shows a smaller Zartan on the interior here, as far as the art goes. And then we get all those heads and masks and stuff with a different Zartan on the inside. So let's see. Then we have the back package is the normal back package with the poster. This might be one of the last ones that has this poster on the back with all the characters for the first era of classified. And again, this is the first time we are opening this. We're going to go through all these one by one, from 00 down all the way up to whatever number they end up stopping at, in order. And there's Zartan. All right, so we're going to put his package down there. We're going to first take out the Zartan and compare it to the other Zartan and see what the differences are between the two. All right, so then I'm going to take off his handkerchief and his hood, and to make him look as similar as we can starting off. So we'll put the handkerchief around him. There's a name for that, and it's escaping me at the moment, the name of the handkerchief. All right, so now there's your two Zartans together. It's a little bit obvious the differences right off the bat. His armor's got a lot more silver on it. His shoulder pauldrons have some silver. His chest plate and his knee pads all have silver. And part of his back secondary has silver as well. So right off the bat, that's all different. That's all different deco, color deco. He still has the belt. He has basically the same sculpt, from what I can tell. He's got the knife sheath in the back as well. There, um, it looks like pretty much all the armor is very similar. Um, Comparing it to this, there's a bit of a different sheen on the armor, parts of the armor, the black parts of the armor. Some of it has that gloss, some of it has the matte finish on it. But everything else, it looks pretty similar. The sculpt of the body, the sculpt of all the pieces. So I think all they did was change the paint deco on him. He has all the same articulation points as the previous Zartan. He's got the double pin shoulders, the double pin elbows, double pin knees. He's got the leg and the waist articulation. He's got the ab crunch and so on. He's got the foot rockers. Let's see if he has. Yeah, he has the shin articulation. He's got the hand articulation, but he doesn't have the wrist articulation because of this armor guards that are on his wrists there. So that inhibits that. So he still has the same hood, the same handkerchief there. So let's get into some of the accessories to see what different accessories he has. Let's see, he has the backpack. As we saw with the first one, the backpack has a machine inside of it that can 3D print. And this one has the same 3D print machine inside the backpack. So that's kind of cool because, let's see if I can get a little better view of that. Whoops. And there you go. I dropped that just like I drop everything in these videos, but this one I'm going to try and get it out. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. All right, I got it. So there's his backpack. Fun, right? It has all that computer stuff. And it makes sense that he would have that 3D printer because he would have to make different disguises. And so let's go through some of these cool disguises that he has because some of them are really cool. And a lot of them, I'm guessing, are on the package where it rotated the different masks. And so that's where you get a lot of these heads and these masks. It's from that he's got that cool looking skull mask there, and it has a little thing that can go over the head, so it'll go over the head and you can put the hood back on. So then we have a Storm Shadow head there. See, look at those eyes. I love how they got those eyes in there. They are so sinister. Cartoon Zartan was funny. You could tell some of the animators thought his hood was hair. Yeah, you're right. The Sunbow Zartan, depending upon what episode, he came out a little bit weird looking. Sometimes that's true. Lone Dragon, you're correct. So then we got the Snake Eyes mask with the traditional Snake Eyes gray visor. So that's the version 2 Snake Eyes, which is very interesting. We just did that other Snake Eyes, and now we have a head we can maybe swap out, put on that other Snake Eyes to get the version 2 closer version. So then we have 3 different masks that are flesh colored masks. Now that mask is a funny mask. It looks like a friend of mine from Ireland, Patty Lennon, Total Toy Books fame. So if you guys see him online, say, "Hey, you look like Zartan," and he'll laugh because he knows he does. He looks just like this. Um, so there you go. It has white eyes, and then we have an uh, old man mask. Kind of looks like the Hard Master a little bit there, and you can see the eyes there again. And then we have um, another a version older guy with white hair. He kind of looks like the Soft Master a little bit. And so there's your 6 masks that comes with this Zartan. So it's fun now that you have a 3D printer in the backpack, you can put one of those masks in there. So let's see, we're going to put the traditional mask in there, and we're going to see if that works. I'm going to close that up. Yep, closed up with the mask inside. So we're going to put that mask and that backpack on Zartan. Okay. That goes right into his back. That's a little bit of a tighter snug than the previous one, I must say. The previous one's a little bit loose. But there you go. All right. So we're going to get into some of the weapons that Zartan has. So this was not in the first one. They gave him this really cool sniper weapon, which makes sense because he's kind of a sniper when he goes after different prey and different adversaries. And I'm not going to spoil somebody that he goes after, but it is very apropos that he would have a sniper rifle like that to go after. And look at all the greeble on that. Man, they added all kinds of details and cool stuff on that. I think they did a really good job with this one. There's the little dots that you have on the machine gun and everything. They gave this handle so he could throw it over his back. So I really like that, actually. I think that's cool. And there's a little bit of paint deco. You probably can't see it, but the handle has a brown paint on there. So then we're going to get to his arrow. Now, his bow, I should say, not his arrow, his bow. So he comes with this cool white bow. Um, oh, that's so funny, Lone Dragon. You're hilarious. I have an Irish friend that loves sitting outside his house all day. Patio furniture. I like that one. That's funny. If Patty Lennon, are you watching this? Hopefully you get a chuckle out of that. That's a funny joke. So there's the infamous arrow bow that he had to use to do his infamous deed. We're going to stick it in his hand because I think that's a good thing to have in his hand for this version of Zartan because of that infamous story. So let's see if we can get this to go in there. There. All right. He's got his bow on. I wonder if I could put this over his shoulder, his gun, see if I can get that to work. I'm going to see if I can do that because I'm trying to get all these accessories. I'm not going to get all of these on him. It's impossible because of the way that this figure is set up. But I can try to. So there you go. I got his gun over his shoulder there, and I can put his hood back on. So at least he can carry that. So I got his backpack, his bow, and his rifle there on his back. So far he's doing pretty good for accessories. He's got one mask in the backpack. All right. Oops. There goes his hood. Where did that go? Oh, there it goes. There you go. All right. So then let's see what else we got. So then because he has the bow, he's got to have arrows, right? So he has a second backpack. He has a um what do you call these backpacks that have arrows? Quiver. A quiver to put his arrows in. and there's some paint deco there, red, and there's some greeble and details, and it has the Arashikage symbol, which is very apropos. Can you see that Arashikage symbol there, guys? It's a little bit dark, but I think you can just about make it out. There it is, right there. So it's apropos that he would have that, right? So now I'm wondering, you can make different Zartans using different backpacks and have different versions of him with this. So it's like a multiple different Zartans with all the accessories. So I'm not going to take the other backpack off for the time being. I'm going to leave. And I keep dropping his hat. His hat keeps coming off. His hood keeps coming off. I got to be more careful. There you go. So then he has that sheath in the back. And so obviously he's going to have a knife again. So this Zartan's going to have another knife. Yeah. Got a little bit of greeble. I think it's the same knife as the previous one. Let's see if that'll go. Should go right in that sheath. And it's tight, but I think I can get it in there. All right, I got it on. I got the knife in the sheath. I know why the hood's not staying on. The bandolier of the so I put the knife in the sheath. The bandolier from the rifle is interfering with it, so I need to like adjust it a little bit so it'll stay tighter. But yeah, it is interfering with that a little bit. So we got that, all that on him so far. And then he comes with a pistol similar to the pistol that the version 1 came with. So he's got a few of the accessories from the first version. And so then the gun is basically the same gun, I think. Yeah, it's the same gun. So I'm going to put the gun in the other hand. Put the gun in this hand. It's the same gun that he had in the previous one. All right, so I have that in his hand. So he's got the bow in one hand. He's got the gun in the other hand. He's got the knife in the sheath. He's got the rifle on his back with his backpack and one mask in there. So there's your San Diego Comic-Con Zartan. Now, there's a lot of like detail and deco and stuff in this that I didn't show before. That's a good point, Lone Dragon. I think it's a lot of reuse because the bow is Zartan is somebody's, so that's reuse. The quiver is definitely reuse as well. So yeah, I think some of this is reuse, but they were building up their parts for different figures, so they had to keep using different things that they had, and so there's a little bit of new and there's a little bit of reuse with this. It's not all reuse and it's not all new. So that's the kind of formula that they've been doing, trying to do that going forward, doing a little bit of each. But yeah, that's a good point. So there's a lot of like detail in the armor, the silver there. You can see the different designs on that silver armor, on the chest, on the legs, a little bit on the shoulders. There's a lot of layering again with this. The color is a little brighter brown as well, and it's closer to the vintage color, this like brownish maroon, whereas the other one was way darker, much more muted brown. This is a darker. This is a lighter brown, much closer to the vintage. But I think for the first San Diego Comic-Con figure with package and everything included and everything, I think it was a good deal. He was a little bit of a hard one to get. I was able to get two of them pretty easily myself. If you're after these type of things, you have to be prepared and you have to know what you're doing. Now, he didn't come with the two totems that the other one came with. So that's one thing they took out of this one. They didn't put the totems on the backpack. Um, but I like them overall. I think they're both unique, and it's good that we have different versions of Zartan uh, to do different missions and have different adventures, and our play pattern is different. But again, this one I believe uh, does does change in the refrigerator, I think it is. It's not the sun, it's the refrigerator you have to put him in. And his skin changes blue in refrigeration. So that's the opposite of the previous one, which was the sun changing to blue from the vintage to this one. So they changed up the chemical balance and made it a different thing. So, but they did include it with this one, which I'm very happy about. Um, do you guys have any questions that you want to ask about uh, these Zartans and what Hasbro's done with these? I think they do. They look really good. The face print is really good. Um, I think they've been getting better and better with the face printing. Um, you started classified after that, so I only have the retro card Zartan. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, Lone Dragon. I hope at some point you're able to get one of these. I don't think they're that expensive and that difficult to find on the aftermarket. And I don't think they're that limited, but um, um, I hope you get one soon. Um, so when we get to that Zartan, we'll have three Zartans to compare and contrast and see how they've changed over the years. But hopefully that gives you a little bit of information on that Lone Dragon, so you know the differences with the one that you already have. Um, but so for the first Zartan, or I should say San Diego Comic Con figure, do you think that Hasbro did a good job with this, or do you think they could have added more or gave us more with this? Um, It is cold. This guy shipped in the winter, and remember people in the colder states reporting him already being blue when they opened him up after he he left on their was sat on their porch. Yeah, I remember that too, Michael. Thank you. Um, Oh, you're fine with the one you have. Well, then that's perfectly fine. That's the thing about this. That's the cool thing about the vintage versus the classified and so on and so forth. They're going to re-release figures in different ways and so on. So everybody's going to have their own play pattern and what's going to be they're collecting and stuff like that. So that's perfectly fine, Lone Dragon. You can collect whatever you feel is best for your collection, because it is difficult to buy all of this stuff. I'm probably one of the few people, rare people, that have a complete collection, and so I'm still getting new ones. Like I have this new heavy duty that just came in the other day, and so yeah, I'm a complete collector, and so that's why I'm able to do this series as complete and definitive as I've been doing it all along. I have multiples of most of these, and so it's easier for me. So that's fine though. Everybody collects differently, Lone Dragon. So let's round up some of the things that are going on. We have Joe Fest. I'm wearing my Joe Fest shirt. Is right around the corner. So again, I hope to see most of you guys at Joe Fest. I don't think Lone Dragon's going to be able to make it this year, and several other people in the chat I don't think are going to make it. But I hope to see as many of you as possible. Please come up to me, say hello, and introduce yourself. I would love to talk with you and stuff like that. And thank you for your contributions to the channel and the chats and what my channel has been doing. So I appreciate all of that. And I look forward to seeing you all at Joe Fest, the ones that do attend. So there's going to be a bit of oh, you're going to be there, Michael Gene Fleming? Great. I look forward to that. And I look forward to meeting your father as well. So I'm going to probably be taking a little bit of a hiatus from doing reviews, classified reviews, but I'll probably be doing some Joe Fest coverage. I have 3 panels that I will be introducing. One is going to be the Seth Green panel with Matt LaCroix and John Havertine panel. I will also be doing the GEM 40th anniversary panel, introducing and emceeing that. And I will also be doing a voiceover acting panel with Dr. Mindbender, Brian Cummings. So all of those panels are going to be great panels. And there's a lot of other great panels and coverage that will be going on at Joe Fest as well. So please go to as many of those as you can. It's going to be a really good lineup of panels this year. So I think that does it for me for this video. So unless there's any more questions in the chat, thank you all again for joining me for classified review of Zartan 31, San Diego Comic-Con. And we're going to see you on number 32 when we get back. And because this is a Dreadnought figure, we're going to say, Dreadnoughts rule!